So I wanted to bring to attention something that I think is very, I don't know, I kind of had an epiphany, which was, can you guys hear me okay?
Yes,
Oh
sir.
yeah, loud and clear.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So I believed I was watching Field of Dreams, which, obviously we've all seen a million times. We are all Ray Kinsella, the main character, Kevin Costner, right? We heard a voice that said, if you build it, he will come,
Mm-hmm.
which is what Q is promising us. Well, there's a lot of detractors. There's a lot of, it didn't happen when it was supposed to. But then he, convinced his wife, who thought he was crazy, right? And then he convinced Terrence Mann, who was James Earl Jones, who was like he was like the antagonist of the movie, right? Like he didn't believe him. He thought he was crazy. He thought he was a lunatic, but he convinced him somehow, some way to go to a baseball game, right? Where he was supposed to see or hear something that was going to convince Terrence Mann that there was this operation, there was the Q, and the Anons. And I go back to that speech at the very end of Field of Dreams when his daughter falls off, the baseball stand and chokes on a hot dog, and Doc comes out and has to save her, but then he can't go back to being a baseball player. He has to like just go back into the corn, right?
Right. Yep.
Right. So Terrence Mann, aka James Earl Jones, is like, Ray, people will come, Ray. They'll come to Iowa for reasons they don't even know why. They can't even fathom. They'll turn up to your driveway, not knowing sure why they're doing it. They'll arrive at your doors, innocent as children longing for the past. Of course, we won't mind if you look around. It's only $20 per person. They'll pass over the money without even thinking about it. For it's money they have, Ray, and peace they lack. And they'll walk out into the bleachers, sit in the shirt sleeves in a perfect afternoon. They'll find they have reserved seats somewhere along the baseline where they used to sit and watch as children and cheered on their heroes. And they'll watch the game as it is being dipped in magic waters. The memories will be so thick they'll have to brush them away from their faces. People will come, Ray. They only consider all the years, Ray, that has been baseball. America is rolled up like an army of steamrollers. It has been erased like a blackboard, built and rebuilt again. But baseball has marked the time. This field, this game, it's part of the past. Ray, it reminds us of all that once was good and could be good again. Oh, people will come, Ray. People will most definitely come. And that's how I feel, is that I was not Ray Kinsella. I
Wait
was,
a damn second. Did you do that off the top of your head?
yes.
Holy crap. Keep going, bro. I'm sorry.
Okay, so I've watched that movie probably 1,000 times, guys. But anyways, I was not Ray Kinsella. I didn't believe in Q. I didn't believe in conspiracy. Well, minus the moon and the flat Earth and a couple of other things. But I mean, literally, when I saw that movie just recently, within the past 2 weeks, I was like, "Oh my God, I am Terrence Mann. I'm James Earl Jones," because he didn't believe he was forced to sit at a baseball game where he finally saw that the Moonlight Graham glitch on the scoreboard popped up, and then he even then still he denied it. He said, I'm sorry, I guess you didn't see what you were supposed to see. Have a good night. And then when Ray Kinsella turns around the VW bus, he's standing there and he's like, Moonlight Graham. And he's like, you saw it. He calls him out, you saw it. And that's when he was like, well, what do we do now? He goes, I guess we're going to Iowa. And that's when they went up and picked up Archie Graham, right? Archie Graham, another thing. So my point is that Field of Dreams was not written about Q, but it's a great analogy, a great metaphor for what I believe is you can't get mad at the people that are asleep or just
Yeah.
don't know what's going on. They're on chapter 1. You're on chapter 27. You can't go to somebody and be like, hey, we're both watching the same TV show or we're reading the same book. Do you know what happens in chapter 27? And they're like, no, bro, I'm on chapter 1. I just, like this guy builds a cornfield out of, or a baseball field in a cornfield for some dumb reason. I don't know why. But by the time they get to the end of it, they're like, holy crap. And there's no speeding that up. People's lives are busy. They've got kids, they got family, they got life, they got stress, and you can't make them speed up. You can try, but you're just going to fail because you can't give somebody cliff notes on something this big. That there are literal ghosts playing in a baseball field,
Right.
right? And
This guy.
nobody can see them other than just a couple people.
Absolutely brilliant, dude. Dude, you should write that into a Substack. That is absolutely brilliant. I couldn't agree with you more.
Wow. Well, I really appreciate that because I've been working on it for 3 weeks, so I've had time to like really hone it in. I've recited that speech probably 1,000 times because I know it like in succinct little bits of it, but then to actually get the full part of it. And it's really hard to do a James Earl Jones because he speaks so deep and it's so guttural and so, just
Bro,
it's
you just
throaty and stuff.
nailed it. You nailed it. I was
Yeah.
blown away.
Wow. Okay. Awesome. Now, one thing I did want to bring up is, and I'm trying to do it as fast as I can, is the mask wearers. All right. The mask wearers are basically like the redhead from Field of Dreams, the guy, the banker brother, who's just like, "You're crazy, Ray. There's no bait. What are you talking about, baseball players? Like there's nothing here." They just literally take every talking point from MSNBC, CNN, all the garbage, fake news media. Now, what that ends up parlaying, which I've actually been kind of not attacking Trump, but just kind of like hitting him up a lot. I'm like, when are we going to repeal the Smith-Mundt Act that was, Obama said, oh, no, it's okay to totally use propaganda against the American citizens. And that's when all media went batshit crazy and just started telling us lies, 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 and lies because Obama said that it was okay. And I've been hitting him up with like, when are you going to repeal this? When are you going to stop this? Like, this is like, you should have done that day one in 2017 when you first took office. Because
No, he couldn't.
He couldn't. Okay.
He couldn't because how can we take over the media and start using our psyops to wake the American people up? If you got rid of that, it would have made it illegal what we just did for the last 7 years.
Oh, that's a great point. He had like the plan is that you have to let them see it. You can't show them. You have to let them experience it. Okay, yeah, that gives me a lot of peace of mind because I'm just like, he wouldn't even respond. Like I've got a couple of not retweets or anything, but just like hearts from people inside of Trump's circle on certain things that I posted on True Social, and I'm just like, how is this possible? Like allowing this to happen.